If you now I'll tell you how to design the beams. In a rigid frame, you will have the design of column as well the design of beams here, right? So today we'll discuss how to design the beams. Okay, as per IS 800 code book. Okay, so now here it is they have given. I'll take a small problem here. Okay, a roof of hall measuring 8 by 12 meters consists of 100 thick RC slab supported on steel I-beam spaced 3 meters apart as shown in the figure. The finishing load may be taken as 1.5 kilonewton per meter square and the live load as 1.8 kilonewton per meter square. Now we need to design the steel beams. This is the given data. You have a room of 8 meters by 12 meters and on that this is 8 meters by 12 meters and you have the spacing of 3 meters interval. Beams are there. Okay, and then now we need they have given the finishing loads and also they have given the live loads. We need to calculate the beam now. Okay, so here this thickness is 0.3 that is shown in the figure and also they have given the slab thickness. On this we have the slab now, that thickness is 100 Basically before designing I'll tell you the steps. First thing, always while designing we need to calculate the loading first. Load coming on the structure, after that bending moment, shear forces on that, after that you need to calculate suitable section on that. Okay, the sections the section as it is a steel structure, in the steel table you will get a direct standardized sections. The whichever you prefer for your loading, that you need to choose it. Okay, one by one I'll tell you. So now we'll go to the first step. We'll go to the load calculation. In the load calculation, firstly slab, from the slab it will come to beam, from the beam it will go to column, from the column it will go to foundations. From the slab is, you need to calculate the weight, the load coming on from the slab. So it is thickness into length into B into rho. Okay, so thickness is 100 thick, slab is 100 thick, so in meters it will be 0.1. Length always it will be 1 meter per meter calculation. Rho density of the concrete is 25, B is 3 meters, 3 meters interval. So 3 meters interval, right? So 3 meters. So that you will get it as 7.5 kilonewton per meter. Then we'll go to the finishing loads. In the finishing loads, 1.5 it is already given. It is given in kilonewton per meter square. You need to convert into kilonewton per meter. So 1.5 into 3. 3 is the one of the dimension, 3 per 3 meters. So 4.5 kilonewton per meter. So we got the, what is the weight of it, that is weight of the RC slab. Then we got the floor finish. We'll assume the self weight of the whole of the slab. So it is 0.8. Self weight is 0.8 kilonewton per meter. You can also skip this. Then if you add this 3, you will get it as total dead load is how much? 12.8 kilonewton per meter. Is it clear? Now we'll go to the factored loading, calculation of factored loading. So factored dead load is, factor of safety is how much? 1.5. 1.5 into 12.8. 12.8 before we have got no that one. So we got the factored loading is 1.5 is factor of safety. Next we'll calculate the live loads. Live load is 1.5 into 3 meters. 1.5 as it is given, load is given here. Live load is 1.5 kilonewton per meter square. That load we need to take it here. 1.5 into per meter into 3 is the breadth. So that you will get 4.5 kilonewton per meter. Next, factored live load is, this is factor of safety. Okay, this is also factor of safety. We are factoring it. Working load we are factoring it. So that we will get it as 6.75 kilonewton per meter. Add up everything, that is 19.2 plus 6.75. Okay, so 25.95 kilonewton per meter. This is the factored loading. Okay, so after this we need to calculate the effective length. Effective length is nothing but 8 meters from inner to inner. This is 8 meters, right? Again, apart from this, you have the wall as 0.3 on the either side. All the effective length will be from this center till the center of the another one. So this is, so how do you calculate this? 8 meter plus 0.3 divided by 2. Okay, 0.3 divided by 2 plus 0.3 divided by 2. So you will get mid to mid distance. Got it, no? So you will get it as 8.3 meters. Okay, so now we'll calculate bending moment. WL square divided by 8. This you are familiar with it. Okay, to calculate the bending moment for the UDL loading. Okay, so you can calculate it by WL square divided by 8, standardized formula. So W is nothing but total loading, 25.95 into length, they have given effective length, divided by 8. Okay, now you'll get it as 223.46 kilonewton meter. Okay, 25.95 you have got it from total loading. W is nothing but total load. L is nothing but effective length divided by 8. Okay, WL square by 8. So that you will get what is the bending moment. Now we'll calculate what is the shear force. So again, with a simply supported beam which is carrying a UDL, these are the two standard equations. WL square by 8, I think you have studied in your structures. WL by 2, okay, 25.95 into 8.3 L divided by 2, so that you will get what is the shear force. This is bending moment, this is shear force. So till now we have calculated the bending moment, shear force, load, effective length, everything. So now we'll calculate the section modulus. Okay, for the particular moment, what is the section modulus we require? Okay, so that you need to calculate. To calculate that, moment divided by Fy into gamma m naught. Gamma m naught is the partial safety factor. Okay, gamma m naught is the partial safety factor according to your IS 800. Gamma m naught is 1.1. Gamma m1 is 1.25. Okay, this is what we are using. We'll come across gamma m1. I'll tell you how it is. Okay, so now Fy. M is the moment, Fy is 250. This is an assumption. Usually we'll take it as 250 into this is in kilonewton per meter. I need to convert into Newton mm. So into 10 raised to 6. Okay. So kilonewton meter, right? It is 10 raised to 3 is for newtons. From meter to mm into 10 raised to 3. Totally it will become 10 raised to 6. Okay, into 1.1 is the gamma partial safety factor, gamma m naught. M naught is 1.1. It is from IS 800. Okay, so now ZP. Can you see here? It is in the page number 30. Gamma m naught is 1.1. You will get it from the code book itself. Gamma m1 is 1.25. Got it? Gamma m naught is 1.1. Page number 30. So now we got what is ZP now. Calculate it, you will get ZP. So in the mm cube, it is 983.22 into 10 raised to 3 mm cube. Okay. So now you need to search the same thing in your steel table. First search for ISMB 400. Steel table ISMB 400. Okay. So why it is 400 only means, so we require 983.22 into 10 raised to 3 mm per mm3. Okay, mm per 3. So here to calculate that, first search for the ZP. Okay, in the steel table, go and take the channels, I sections. In that I sections, that is in the B is indicates I section. Okay, in that I section you need to take up you need to search for ZP value here. Okay, ZP. Okay, so whatever the Z I have taken it here, it is nearer by, right? I got it something around 10 22.9. So you will not get exact one, you need to take little higher. Okay, so we require 983.22, we have taken 1022.9. We need to take slightly higher value. Got it? So slightly higher means I have taken ISMB 400. It is not mandatory that you need to take 400 only. Nearer by value you need to take it. In that you need to write all the values. Now I am trying with ISMB 400. Area, height, thickness of the flange, thickness of the web, breadth, and Z. All that you write it down from the steel table. Got it? See, now we have designed it. For the particular loading, we require or we need to provide ISMB 400. Whether our section is safe or not, that you need to check it, right? So here you need to check for deflection, shear and moment. These are the three checks which is mandatory after the design. So now you have designed it, then you have concluded it, we can give ISMB 400, right? Indian standard mile beam section is 400, you can give it. So whether it is safe or not, that you need to check it, right? First we will go for shear. Now first we will check for shear strength, next we will check for moment, then we will go for deflection. Okay, so whatever we've got in the shear, we have already calculated what is shear force coming on it, right? 107.69. This is applied. We don't know how much it can resist, right? How to calculate the resisting shear force? That formula you will get it in IS 800 clause number 8.4.1. Can you see it here? It is in the clause number 8.4.1. Nominal plastic shear resistance, shear check it is. So in that we need to calculate the forces here. Okay, so VD is equal to Vn divided by gamma m naught, partial safety factor. How do you calculate Vn? It is Vn heat here. Vn is equal to Vp, plastic shear. Okay, so what is Vp? AV FYW divided by root 3. How do you calculate this? I'll tell you. This is from clause. Okay, clause number 8.4.1. So how to calculate this? See now, AV Fy divided by square root of 3. That is what Vp. So we need to calculate finally what? Vd, right? So divided by gamma m naught is also there. So divided by gamma m naught. Got it? So what is the area? How do you calculate area? 400, right? What is the height of it? 400. 400 into thickness of the web. Web you need to take because it is a shear. Shearing actions will occur in the web. So we need to take thickness of the web here. Got it? Into 250 divided by square root of 3 into gamma m naught. This you have already written in the this one. TW, thickness of the web. Okay, so that you will get it calculated, you will get it. This is the resisting force, this is the applied force. Always applied should be lesser than the resistance, so it is safe. So that we can, it is whatever the section ISMB 400 we are given, it can take up shear resistance, it is shear resistant. Now we will calculate the moment. Whether it can take up the moment or not, that we need to calculate it, right? So now we'll calculate the moment here. So check for moment capacity. So again it is in clause number 8.2.1.2. Okay, so it is in beta b into Zp into Fy divided by gamma m naught. Okay, it is in 8.2.1.2. Okay, search for this 8.2.1.2. See here 8.2.1.2, it is in page number 53. Beta b into Zp Fy divided by gamma m naught. So this always, here you have Vd is a design shear strength of that. Okay, it is Md is equal to beta b Zp Fy divided by gamma m naught. It should always be lesser than 1.2 Ze Fy into gamma m naught. Okay, in case of normal simply supported, if you are designing the cantilever beams, you need to take this 1.5. we are not doing cantilever now, right? We are doing simply supported. So we need to take 1.2 ZE Fy divided by gamma m naught. So this value should always be lesser than this. We need to calculate these two and check whether it is safe or not. Got it? This value should always be lesser than this. Now see here, I have taken this 8.2.1.2. In this, how do you calculate it? Beta b is 1. It is in the clause itself. To calculate ZP, you need to ZP and ZE. You have two things. One is plastic sectional modulus, another one is elastic sectional modulus. Got it? See here, beta b is 1 for the plastic and compact section. Semi-compact section we are not designing, we are designing for plastic and compact section, so it is 1. Got it? Then ZP, that is ZP is nothing but plastic sectional modulus, and Fy is yield stress. Then gamma m naught, you know, partial safety factor. Now 1.2 into ZE is nothing but this one, elastic section modulus. Okay, elastic section modulus. To calculate that, Fy is 250 and gamma m naught. To calculate ZE, you have already calculated, or you will get it from your steel table. Whatever you get it from your steel table, that is ZE. Now we need to take up ZP. I'll tell you how to calculate this. You will get it directly from this code book itself, 138, page number 138, plastic property of beam. Got it? It is a plastic property of beam here. So here the radius of gyration you have, and also section modulus you have it here. Got it? The section modulus. This one we need to take. Plastic section modulus we want, this you need to take. ZP. P indicates plastic. To see that, first what we are designing here, ISMB 400, it is here. Okay, it is here, ISMB 400. Got it? Now in the same line you go, ISMB 400. If you go it in the same line towards the plastic section modulus. Okay, towards the plastic section modulus, how much you got? 1176.18. Got it? Plastic sectional modulus is 1176.18. Same thing, you write it down, 1176.18. So now it is in centimeter cube. Now we need to convert in mm cube, means into 10 raised to 3. Fy is 250, gamma m naught is 1.1, just now I told you. Okay, then 1.2 into ZE is nothing but you will get it from your steel table, no? 2.2 into 10 raised to 3. Okay, you got it from your steel table, no? Here it is in centimeters, convert into mm. Okay, so that you will get it as this one, into 10 raised to 3 into 250 divided by 1.1. You got all this, and now you calculate this. This is not 10 point, this is 22.9. Okay, so small mistake, 22.9. Got it? So now here calculate this one separately. You will get it as 267.31. You calculate this separately, you will get it as 27897.97. So always it should be, this value should be always lesser than this one. This is what given in the code also, right? So it is safe. If not, that is section whatever you have taken, ISMB cannot take moment. You need to redesign it again. Okay, take the higher section, you need to redesign it. Now finally, now it is safe for us. It is because it is lesser than this value, so it is safe. Now we'll go for check for deflection. Now you can write it as lambda, or you can write it as rho. I'm avoiding this rho because we have used the same conversion in density of concrete, right? So lambda, or you can use, okay. So you are familiar with this equation, right? 5 divided by 384 into WL power 4 divided by EI. This you have studied in your structures. 5 divided by 384, standard equation for deflection. Okay. So W is what? W, one thing you need to remember here, it is not factored. Without factoring you need to take. What is the dead load without factoring? 12.8. What is the live load without factoring? 4.5. Add these two. This is not factored, this is a working one. So you will get the 17.3 into what is an effective length? It is 8.3, right? Effective length is 8.3. So convert into mm. So that into power 4 divided by E. Young's modulus of steel is how much? 2 into 10 raised to 5. I value I have already written from the steel table. That is 2. This you have written in the steel table. You will get directly from the steel table. IXX. It is in centimeters. Convert into mm into 10 raised to 4. So that you will get 26.13 mm. Okay. So after this we need to calculate the deflection limit. We got it as 26 mm is the deflection. What we are occurring. We don't know what is the maximum limit, right? Maximum limit is LE divided by 300. This you need to remember. It is according to code book only. LE is effective length divided by 300 is the constant one. LE is 8300 divided by 300. You will get it as 27.66 mm. So our deflection is 26.13. Maximum deflection allowed in the beam is 27.66 mm. So allowed is greater than applied one, correct? So it is safe. So finally we need to sketch it. So this will be the ISMB 400, a small I section of this height is 400. This width you will get it in your steel table as 140 mm. Thickness of the web 8.9, thickness of the flanges 16 mm. So this is about the design of beams. Thank you.